When you think about the economy today and the fact that there are so many changes afoot. We have automation, we have artificial intelligence, jobs that existed 20 years ago don't exist today. And there are new jobs that are on the horizon all the time.
I've always liked to kind of get my hands on with things. I like the work-based learning because it kind of shows you some real-world experience as well as normal classroom stuff. So I really like that.
If I never interned, I would have never gotten the work experience that I have now, and I don't think I would have been as prepared coming out of high school and into college and into a work setting.
The apprenticeship program has really helped me a lot, and if you're scared of doing it, don't be. It'll really help you as a person. It's really changed my life, actually, and it might change yours.
The reason that tight relationships between the businesses really co-creating their talent alongside of schools, sharing in that talent development in a community, the reason that matters so much is because the economy is changing so fast that students don't know what's out there if they aren't able to make those connections to businesses in their community. A good work-based learning program really helps students to make those connections.
Career Technical Education, or CTE, refers to programs in middle schools, high schools, and community and technical colleges that teach young people employability skills, technical skills, occupational skills. There's considerable research now that participating in CTE programs improves students' likelihood of high school graduation, their transition to community and technical colleges, and also their later employment and earnings.
Work-based learning relates to CTE in the sense that it connects the real-world applied experience with the educational experience the students are receiving in the classroom. So students can take the things that they're learning in the classroom to the actual field and learn hands-on with a real employee with a real-world experience.
Work-based learning is usually presented as a continuum of activities, so it may start with career awareness, career exploration, visits to workplaces, speaking with professionals, and then later on students might have internships, pre-apprenticeships, apprenticeships where they really have a role in a workplace and are learning skills there. There are also school-based enterprises. For example, at a high school, the students may actually run the school store and have all the roles and responsibilities that adults would have, running a retail establishment. Work-based learning is considered a valuable part of career and technical education programs, and right now there's a lot of encouragement to have the opportunity available for more and more students.
It is really important that all students have access to these work-based learning experiences. Just making sure that we have students have the chance to interview for those opportunities. It's also about trying to support regions or specific schools that are looking to expand their programs. How do we create opportunities in rural districts or rural regions of Indiana so that where students might have trouble having transportation to cover those long distances? So it is a challenge. Right now it's about kind of meeting those goals of how do we make sure that every student experiences some type of work-based learning experience, and then just trying to make sure that as many students as possible have that access to those high quality, high level work-based learning capstone experiences.
Perry Central Community Schools is a small rural community school in southern Indiana. We are nestled in the Hoosier National Forest. We are about 40% free and reduced lunch. A lot of our students are first generation students for college. The goal of Perry Central has always been to meet our students where they are and take them as far as they can go. And so work-based learning is a perfect fit for that because we're helping our students to connect with the careers and the skills that they're good at and showing them how to gain more of those skills and connect with different opportunities out in the community. At Perry Central, we offer all of the variety of models of work-based learning, which include apprenticeships, enterprises, and internships. One of our programs that is the most interesting is agriculture. Our students have partnered with a company, it's a startup company called Anew with vertical gardens. And students are learning about vertical agriculture and how that's really going to be the change in our food source. And they're growing lettuce and different produce for our kitchen and also for the community.
Our internship program is for seniors only. They basically figure out what career field they're interested in, and our director will reach out to the industry partners and try to place them at a company. Then there's an interview process. The students will get interviewed by that company to see if it's a good fit. And then if everything works out, then the students report to that job for all day on Wednesdays only.
80% of our students, our senior class, will have a meaningful internship tied to their career pathway.
I think it just gets the kids ready for the real world. I mean, some of these kids have never had a part-time job or a job at all in their life. So going to these internships, they don't really know what to expect. They don't really know how it works. It's just a good experience for them to learn. And through our classes at Perry Central, our engineering pathway, they get college credit through Ivy Tech for all 3 engineering classes that they take here at Perry Central, which would be Intro to Engineering, Principles of Engineering, and Civil Engineering and Architecture. On the job, they learn basically how that company works. They learn the different CAD software. We use Autodesk here at Perry Central, but a lot of companies use a bunch of different types of CAD software, so they have to learn that software. They also have to, learn a bunch of communication skills, teamwork, problem-solving skills. They learn a lot of different life skills.
My role is to help find the best fit for Thornwood and for the student learner. And so we work really closely with Perry Central to identify what our needs are in the future and currently, and then what their needs are from a learning standpoint. We've been in business and been successful over 55 years, and we'd like to continue that. We need to look at the talent. We need to get them involved in what we're doing today, and that work-based learning helps them understand what the real world is all about. Our educators do a fabulous job of preparing our students. However, school and real life, real work life are different. Hiring is very difficult. Finding someone that meets your culture and has the skill set is very difficult. I've been in HR 36 plus years, and at one time we had lots of resumes to pick from, and so it was a lot easier. We have limited amount of resumes. We have a limited amount of skill sets. Knowing that we already have a list of students that we know have the fit our culture, the culture fit's so important, and that they have the skill sets and that they fit into our family is priceless. Recruiting is expensive. It doesn't always work. And so we have taken the cost out of that to help our bottom line, and then we're getting employees that we feel are going to stay. There isn't anybody in that sector that doesn't benefit: the school, the employee, the student, and then the community.
I decided to participate in work-based learning because I wanted to increase my skills of how I would be in my future. So if I were to go to a real company, I'd get a good standpoint of what it would look like, and that's not something I can get at school. I believe that this internship has fully prepared me for what I can expect or could expect in my future working with another company. My employers communicate with me. I need to know how to be able to do things properly and efficiently, so that would help me in that case. And then problem solving, still more as in the workplace, if I need a part done and we don't know how to efficiently make that part, we need to figure out how to contort the part that it's possible to create. I did not have very great communication skills within like a company based or within my pathway in school. So communication, working together, seeing how that worked, active listening. You have to be really patient and you have to make sure everything's like on point. It needs to be pretty much uniform. My career goals are to pursue an engineering, become a product designer, and hopefully get a bachelor's degree. Through this internship, I'm actually going to be able to complete my technical honors for graduation, so that will look good on my college resumes. They'll notice that I've had this work experience.
One really significant benefit we've seen to work-based learning is the relationships that students develop with the adult professionals that they're working with. So most young people, They, of course, have relationships with their parents or other adult family members. They may have relationships with a teacher or two, but those are really all the adults that they know and interact with regularly. So having an internship broadens, expands the number of adults that young people are regularly coming into contact with, and this is a really important benefit to their lives.
What we find is when we talk to students in a one-on-one basis, they may know one or two local employers. They may have a sense of some of the companies that they see advertised on TV, but largely the opportunities that exist within their own backyard are unknown to them unless they have a family member or a parent who works in that field. And so by getting out there, beginning to make connections, beginning to see that the small company next door that they walk past every day actually is a place that they could work and does the type of things that they're interested in and really do meaningful work within, then that creates better opportunities for the students and creates pathways to opportunities for employers to find the talent that they need.
One of the best ways that a region, an employer can develop the talent that they need is by having students participate in CTE and work-based learning programs. Students that participate in these types of experiences are so much more likely to stay on with that company, to continue in that particular field. There's really an aspect of this that is important, that industry, regions, the entire economic development and the education system to all work together in order to build that talent development pipeline.
The Modern Apprenticeship Program is an exciting program in Indianapolis. It's focused on youth apprenticeship for high school students, and it starts in a student's junior year where they begin their apprenticeship. The distinguishing factor of apprenticeships as compared to internships is just largely the length of the apprenticeship, the occupation focus, and the fact that there's related instruction happening and that a company has, they're hiring that student on as their own student, as a full employee of the company, and that leads to more commitment really from the business to that training pipeline that they're developing. So our Modern Youth Apprenticeship Program that we offer at Employ Indy, as an example, is a 3-year program that starts in a student's junior year. That student is doing occupation-specific work that is meaningful to the company, and at the same time, building their credentials, building their college credit, and obviously being paid for it at a competitive wage as well. And their wages progress as they build their skills over time.
I decided to apply to the Modern Apprenticeship Program because I wanted to gain some work experiences. I have been in the program for about 2 years now, and I will complete the program next year actually, which is exciting. What led me to focus on accounting is that accounting uses different skills that are transferable to different career pathways. And so now learning them now and being able to use them in the future is really good for me to do. The apprenticeship includes activities outside of work hours, such as we do weekly meetings with our YAMs where we discuss how our apprentice is going and what are we doing, if we're feeling good with the program. We also do boot camps where we talk about our apprenticeships and the jobs and how we're doing also. A typical day for me is that my coworker will send me a purchase order to work on and make a packet for. I then go to a program that I use called SpendBridge, where I look up the different invoices that company had used and had done, and then I use that to go to Excel and make an APV invoice. What I've liked the most about being an apprentice is pushing myself in the box that I try to keep myself in, because now the apprenticeship has kind of forced me to work with more people. Then that's something that I usually wouldn't do, but now I communicate better, I do teamwork, I do meetings, and that's something that I'm really proud that I got to do.
There is a concept in the youth development research called possible selves, and it describes how young people visualize, how they think about what's possible for them in their future careers and also in their future as adults. And work-based learning can really serve to enlarge that, expand that, what students might think of as being possible for them.
As they are exposed to more opportunities in their community, it helps them to, believe in what they can be in the future, to understand all of the different types of jobs that exist in the community. For students who are low-income students, for students who are, students of color who maybe just haven't had the same kinds of opportunities made available to them for one reason or another, a really great work-based learning program changes that for them, and it can often spark for them the belief and confidence in themselves that they can be something that they may have never thought they could be or didn't even know existed in our ever-changing economy.
One of the most crucial aspects of high-quality work-based learning is that opportunity for students to network with industry professionals, to build that social capital that will help them when it comes time to, hey, I need a reference. I need you to connect me with someone else. And I think that's an aspect that is really critical of work-based learning and something that we need to focus in on.
To fellow students, caregivers, and parents that are uncertain about going into a modern apprenticeship, I would say that the program is only there to help you. If you have any challenges with the program, there are people there that will help you make sure that those challenges are gone and that you're able to participate. It's something that is very life-changing. It's really changed my life, actually, and it might change yours.
We believe it's important that they are earning while they're learning. That's a key concept in career-connected learning. And so with that, earning and learning, they're also earning credentials, they're earning certificates that are relevant, really, again, to the occupation, not so much to a particular company where we can. So that those are credentials that are portable, that the students can take with them. It really leads to, as students are completing an apprenticeship, they have many more options available to them. They could continue working for the business. They could go on to complete a post-secondary degree with what they've earned already through their apprenticeship. They just, the world is sort of their oyster.
The collaboration of Shoals, Mitchell, and Orleans started in 2018. We are focused on increasing our work-based learning across our 3 districts. Currently, we have about 10% of our students engaged in work-based learning, but 83% of our students engaged in career and technical education. And so we really want to start to bridge that gap so that more of our CTE students are engaged in work-based learning. So that's one of our goals and priorities.
I had the honor and privilege of working with the collaboration of Shoals, Mitchell's, and Orleans schools in southern Indiana through a previous role. And really, that's an innovative solution to how do you address some of the challenges that exist in a rural community around finding meaningful career pathways and work-based learning opportunities. These are 3 very small school districts in a part of the state that doesn't have a lot of deep business engagement. There are opportunities, but they're not necessarily broad sectors or large Fortune 500 companies that are working within their community. And the school districts, the community leaders all came together and realized that the best way to create opportunity for students is to really pool resources and begin working collaboratively across these 3 school corporations.
We have made an intentional focus on our student-run businesses or school-based enterprises so that we can capture students who may have a barrier related to transportation or scheduling. Having those opportunities inside the school district and day are important for students. Strength in Cosmos is that more students get more access to programs. Right now, students have 7 different student-run businesses or school-based enterprises to choose from. And so that is one thing that we're proud of, right? Creating those opportunities that are related to access and equity has been a priority for us, and I feel like we're doing that.
Bulldog Manufacturing is a program in a whole. It consists of classes, so it's also an enterprise. We try to give students real-world opportunities. That's what it's all about. We want to make stuff real, authentic, so kids remember and they are prepared upon graduation. So the way the program works is when they're a freshman, they choose one of 2 pathways. They choose manufacturing or engineering. And then as they grow into juniors and seniors, they can apply for a job in Bulldog Manufacturing class. And that's where we make products or we're a subcontractor, and we keep track of estimates and invoices and all that.
I've been doing this bullet manufacturing and the engineering this is my second year. I'll complete it when I'm a senior, which is 2026.
Students earn certifications in both pathways. They earn the OSHA 10 certification, they learn some Lean Six Sigma white belt certification, lockout, tagout. They also are able to take college credits. There's 21 college credits they can receive by the time they graduate. The goal for students is to not only learn the soft skills like organization and time management and all those soft skills, but to develop those connections with our industry partners, those relationships, and then those technical skills too. So all three of those things is kind of the whole goal of our Bulldog manufacturing program.
We come into class and we would kind of meet up and talk about what we need to work on. And then when we figure that out, we come out here in the shop, or if I need to come up with a design, I'll do that in the classroom. And then I can bring it out here to the manufacturers who build things, and I can show them and we can talk it over, and then they will make it. And then when they're done, we'll come back and talk about things, and then we can end up sending an invoice and to other companies or whoever ordered.
Why do you want to be involved with Bulldog Manufacturer as an employer? You're investing in your future. These are your next generation of talent. So why not mold them with us?
What I've liked most is just working with my peers and coming up with ideas to fix things and get it done. Seeing people's reaction after you build something or make something for them and you get it to them and they're happy, that's a great feeling.
What we keep saying to businesses in Indianapolis is you invest in new machinery, you invest in new technology, you invest in all of these new things. What we really need for you to do is be co-creators of talent and invest in the talent in our community in a more meaningful way.
Part of the challenge that we have in Indiana is there is no uniform method for connecting students to work-based learning, and oftentimes it's really facilitated through an educational partner, through the relationship that an employer has with an educator within a school district. Alternative to that, it could be between a student that has a relationship outside of the educational experience, either through a parent or a family member knows somebody that is looking for an experience, or finally a student just takes it upon themselves to search for those opportunities, whether it's through a board like Work and Learn Indiana or through a individual organization site.
The best way that we've built relationships with employers is invite them to the table. We invite them into Perry Central a lot to see what we are doing. We are also very involved in our community, so we do a lot of networking events and just talking to them and trying to understand their needs and let them know the possibilities that we have at Perry Central to help meet those needs. What we have found and what we've learned is there's not one right way. And it's going to be important for all of our schools to have a variety of ways that students can participate in work-based learning, whether it's an internship, whether it's an enterprise that's more in-house for students that maybe don't have transportation, or you have a little more control over it as a school and what that looks like, all the way to a DOL-approved apprenticeship. All those experiences are valuable for students, and it's just important to have a variety of options.
A lesson learned was that when you work with an employer partner, coming to the table with your biggest idea is often their smallest idea. They're like, oh, I just didn't know how to engage with you. And so that, again, is a lesson learned. Like, we now come to the table with either what we're doing with one of our other partners so they can see a model, or with, again, our biggest idea, and oftentimes our industry partners run with that.
My shared lessons are don't hesitate to reach out to local industries. I think they want to help, they just don't know how to. They just need that connection. With the industry partners, invite them into your classroom, invite them into the shop, get kids involved in that communication process. They like to hear from the students more than the teacher.
My advice to other schools starting an internship program would be to try to work it out where the students could go the full day. I think that works way better than just a couple hours every day. I think the kids get more, a better feel for what the job is like, and can probably get more projects completed if they're there for a full day rather than just a couple hours every day.
I'm the most proud of our work-based learning programs because of the innovation and passion that is behind them. I believe that our programs come with a lot of pride from the student standpoint and from our community. Our community is proud of the work that our students are doing. I think that we do provide a lot of authentic work experiences for students that they won't get anywhere else, and it really does help them figure out what kind of career they want to launch into after Perry Central. Our hope for students who participate in work-based learning is that they can find their passion and their purpose in life and mentorship, and really be excited about the work that they want to do. There's so many opportunities outside of the walls of the school, and we want them to be able to find those and to understand how to access all those resources. And so we hope that work-based learning provides them with the opportunity to do that.
My hope for students who participate in work-based learning is that they continue to refine and reflect on their career plans. We are okay with students having an experience and finding out that that's not an opportunity that they want in post-secondary. That's just as great as the student who goes out and is 100% certain that that's what they want to do. So again, my hope is that they continue to refine what their future goals are.
Every intern that walks in the door, I feel, has a success story. They have something that they can walk out of here and they've gained that they wouldn't have gotten in the classroom.